They have uncovered the entrances to a massive underground barracks, which they believe was built between August 1916 and February 1917, and housed about 6,000 men. Do you have any idea how long it took the soldiers to actually make this?
Yes, I think we know. I think they started the work, I think, mid-August, end of August, and it was finished at about a bit more than 4 months.
It's very quick.
But I think they work here with 600 men.
Yes.
So because it was average of company. So we will see. Later we would like to do something to have possibility for the public to be able to see the high-all view of that. Of course, it will be impossible for them to visit the underground part, but just having to see a part of a shaft and then of a concrete. But we have to preserve, to protect, and to get funds, because I think we need lots of money to complete the project.
Yes.
Next one will be behind his farm, because I think he has put it a drain in his fields, and he has the machine or engine has broken spade. That's one of the walls. I've got about 30 meters cube of soil to remove before, I think, to find the steel shaft itself. Yeah. At Fleury, with a funny story with the language. There was a calf, and on the window was written English understand, but Australian spoken.
Winston Spencer Churchill, the man who carried much of the blame for the Allied failure in the Dardanelles, also volunteered for the Western Front in 1916 after being sacked from the War Cabinet. His arrival coincided with that of the Australian Division. This plaque outside the town hall in Kunming commemorates his service. Whilst attention was mainly focused further south on Vimy Ridge and the Somme, men working in the Ypres salient continued to tunnel under the enemy. In 1916, a plan had been proposed to undermine the Messines Ridge, the high ground held by the enemy overlooking Allied lines in the salient. This offensive mining was what Norton Griffiths had wanted from the start, a chance to demonstrate the real contribution of mining to the war. Everywhere in the salient, the ground was difficult to work. Within 3 months of mining starting in 1915, it had become apparent that a mines rescue service was needed. Too many experienced men were being lost due to gas in the tunnels and shafts. In one 6-week period, one company had 16 men killed, 48 hospitalized, and 86 who required treatment at the shaft head. Canaries were taken below ground to test for gas, as the birds were quickly affected by bad air. They had to be carefully looked after in the tunnels, as an escaped bird would indicate mining activity to the enemy. This memorial to canaries and white mice, the tunnellers' friends, is in the Scottish National War Memorial in Edinburgh Castle. Miners only accepted yellow canaries as capable of doing the job. In early June 1915, Arthur B. Clifford, an expert in the use of the Proto rescue set, was sent to the Western Front to train officers and men in the use of the new safety equipment. His task was to train 3,000 mines rescue men in a month, with only 36 sets of Proto equipment, all that was available in the whole country. 2 rescue training stations were eventually set up. Clifford was awarded the Meritorious Service Medal in 1917. By late 1916, Canadian and Australian tunnelling companies were working alongside the British in the Messine area. On the 9th of November 1916, the first Australian tunnelling company took over the tunnels and mines at Hill 60, which were being constructed as part of the planned major offensive on the Messine Ridge. Like many other companies raised in mining communities, it contained a large number of families and friends who enlisted together. Amongst them were a father and son, coal miners from Wallsend, New South Wales, sappers J.B. and W.F. Snedden. Sapper J.B. Snedden was killed in action on the 7th of April 1917, when German miners blew a camouflage which buried him. He is buried in Railway Dugout Cemetery, Zillebeek, near Ypres. The United Mineworkers Federation of Australia Pipe Band visited Hill 60 in 2001 to commemorate the sacrifice made here by their countrymen. Mining was increasing in depth as continuous mining, countermining and shelling had riddled the upper layers of ground with tunnels and craters. The tunnels to the mine chambers beneath the Messine Ridge were to be unprecedented in length. For the first and only time during the war, mechanized mining was tried. It was an abject failure, as the drilling machine kept getting stuck in the sticky clay, requiring men to dig it out again, and it blew fuses so often that soon the total supply of fuse wire in Belgium was used up. Mechanization was abandoned, and the machinery remains underground to this day.